Build with steel like a pro. Hey everyone, construction enthusiasts. Today we're going to talk about steel structures. They're strong, versatile, and if done right, will last a lifetime. But don't be fooled, building with steel is not like stacking toy blocks. There are a lot of things to get right to ensure the job is safe, durable, and up to code. We're going to dive into the essential details you need to know to build with steel like a seasoned professional. So stick with me, and I'll show you how to get it right the first time. Before you even think about lifting a steel beam, you have to start with the basics, a solid plan. And I'm not talking about a rough sketch on the back of a napkin. You need a full set of blueprints drawn up by a qualified structural engineer. This plan needs to take everything into account: the size and scope of the project, the loads the structure is going to carry, the soil conditions, and the seismic and wind requirements in your area. Remember, my friends, a bad plan in this stage will come back to haunt you later with costly problems and headaches. It's not just about the structure itself. You also need to think about how it's going to interact with the rest of the building. How are the electrical and plumbing systems going to be integrated? What about insulation and fireproofing? All these factors need to be considered in the design and planning phase. Trust me, it's a lot easier and cheaper to make changes on paper than after you've poured the concrete. And don't forget to consult your local building codes. They're your Bible for safe and compliant construction. Don't try to cut corners here. A poorly done job can not only pose a safety hazard, but it can also lead to fines and legal troubles down the road. Do it right from the start and save yourself a world of trouble later on. So you've got your plans, you've gotten your permits, and you're ready to start building. But hold on a second, don't grab that steel just yet. The next step is making sure you're using the right materials for the job. We're talking about the type of steel, the grade, and the finish, all of which can affect the strength, durability, and longevity of your structure. Not all steel is created equal. Different grades of steel have different strength properties and resistance to corrosion. For example, you might need higher strength steel for structural elements like beams and columns, while a lighter grade might be suitable for non-structural elements. And don't forget about protective coatings. Galvanization, or special coatings, can prevent the steel from rusting and corroding, especially in humid or corrosive environments. Remember, my friend, steel is not cheap. It might be tempting to try and cut costs in this area and go with the cheapest option, but trust me, it's not worth it in the long run. Using high-quality materials that meet the specifications of your project will ensure that your steel structure is durable, weather-resistant, and built to last. Now let's talk about connections. These are the crucial parts of your steel structure that hold everything together. And believe me, you don't want to mess this up. Poorly designed or installed connections can lead to weak points in your structure, causing major problems down the road. There are two main types of connections you'll likely encounter: bolted connections and welded connections. Each type has its own pros and cons, and choosing the right one will depend on the specific requirements of your project. Bolted connections are like the workhorses of the steel construction world. They're quick, easy to install, and don't require any fancy welding equipment. They're great for smaller projects or when you need flexibility. Welded connections, on the other hand, offer unmatched strength and rigidity. They're the go-to option for large structures that need to support heavy loads or withstand strong winds and seismic activity. But here's the kicker. Whether it's bolted or welded connections, the quality of the workmanship is everything. Make sure your connections are installed by experienced and qualified welders and fabricators. And don't forget about inspections. A qualified inspector should examine all welds and connections to make sure they meet industry codes and standards. Cutting corners on connections is like cutting corners on the foundation of your house. It could lead to disaster down the line. Now that we've covered the basics of planning, material selection, and connection design, let's move on to the actual construction phase, the fabrication and assembly of your steel structure. This phase requires precision and attention to detail, as any errors during fabrication or assembly can compromise the overall structural integrity of your building. It all starts in the fabrication shop, where the steel components are cut, drilled, and shaped according to the exact specifications of your blueprints. It's essential to choose a fabricator with a proven track record and experience in handling projects of your scale and complexity. Once the steel components are fabricated, they're transported to the construction site for assembly. Assembling a steel structure is like putting together a giant puzzle, where each piece needs to fit perfectly. This is where cranes and other heavy equipment come into play to carefully lift and place the steel beams, columns, and bracing into position. It's crucial to have an experienced and skilled assembly team who understands the blueprints, follows safety procedures, and executes the assembly process with precision. At this point, I want to pause and emphasize the importance of construction safety. Construction can be a dangerous business, and building with steel is no exception. It's our responsibility to create a safe work environment for everyone involved in the project, from the workers to the passers-by. It all starts with proper personal protective equipment, PPE. Hard hats, safety glasses, hearing protection, gloves, and steel-toe boots are non-negotiable on a construction site. Proper PPE can mean the difference between a close call and a serious injury. And remember, safety is not just about protecting yourself, but also those working around you. Daily safety meetings, proper training, and a comprehensive safety plan are essential for maintaining a safe work environment. Make sure everyone on the site is on the same page about potential hazards, safety procedures, and emergency response protocols. And don't forget the importance of maintaining a clean and organized job site. A cluttered work environment can lead to trips, falls, and other accidents. Congratulations! You've successfully constructed your steel structure. But our job doesn't end there. Just like any other part of your building, steel structures require regular maintenance to ensure their longevity and structural stability. Proper maintenance will not only extend the lifespan of your steel structure, but also prevent potential safety issues down the line. Regular inspections are crucial for identifying and addressing any signs of damage, corrosion, or deterioration. The frequency of these inspections will depend on environmental factors such as exposure to moisture, chemicals, or extreme weather conditions. During these inspections, pay close attention to the connections, looking for any signs of loosening, corrosion, or damage. If you encounter any issues during these inspections, don't ignore them or put them off. Addressing problems promptly will prevent them from turning into bigger, more costly issues in the future. Remember, maintaining your steel structure is an ongoing investment that will pay off in the long run, ensuring the safety and longevity of your building. There you have it, my friends. An in-depth look at what it takes to build with steel like a seasoned pro. Remember, building with steel offers incredible strength and durability, but it requires meticulous planning, precise execution, and an unwavering commitment to safety. From the initial design phase to ongoing maintenance, each step plays a vital role in the overall success of your steel construction project. Remember, it's not just about erecting a structure, it's about creating a space that is safe, resilient, and built to stand the test of time. By following the tips and guidelines we've discussed today, you can ensure that your steel construction project is a resounding success. Stay safe, build with confidence, and remember, it's always better to get it right the first time.